Alright, so today I'm here to talk about the whole situation with Zamasu going on in the community because there have been a lot of opinions flying around. Some people are happy with Zamasu, some are not. Some want him to be a little better, some wanted him to be a lot better. Some are saying that he's shit, and a lot of it going around. And one of the biggest culprits behind Zamasu's reputation, being like Zamasu release is just really bad. The biggest culprit is just Goresh. He's been just going on the internet and just complaining about Zamasu. He even made a full, I think, 1 hour long video on him discussing why he's not a good release, he should have been better, etc. So I think it has been going on for too long, where Goresh has been just saying a lot of BS on the internet, and I think it needs to stop generally. So I'll try to stay calm. I'll not scream, shout, get angry. I'll calmly mention my points so that everybody who's here, people listen if you calmly tell them. If you just scream and shout, people don't care. So yeah, so first of all, Zamasu as a character, let's just look at him in isolation, okay, compared to the units that came before him, right? So if you compare him to units such as Daima Goku, Vegeta Blue, SSJ3, basically everything that came out last year, up to like Beast Gohan, right? Everything that came out last year, Zamasu falls short. It feels like a really bad release, Zamasu, but there's just one thing. He seems like a bad release compared to them, but now you compare him to future Gohan and Trunks. They are the first unit of this year, right? Compare it to them, they're on somewhat of a similar level. I feel like Zamasu's, like how bad Zamasu is, has been overblown. He's not bad. I've been using him on like 5 stars, 4 stars, and now I recently got him to 5 stars. He's not as bad as people are making it out to be, not even close. But let's just go back to the point of comparing it with other characters. So right now what I'm seeing, again, it's so far only 2 characters, very small sample size, but the devs have started to realize that last year in terms of power creep was a mistake. Again, basing it off of only 2 releases that we have seen so far, so everything I say in this video could be null and void, with the next release. It's possible, but so far from the evidence I have, I am putting my faith in the devs, because I said at the start of the year that this is a clean slate. I let go of what happened last year. I'll try to be as neutral as I can towards devs, right? Because last year I hated them. Everything about this game, I just hated it. So I'm just gonna try to be neutral, and from what I have seen, I am giving them confidence that they are gonna continue this, right? So where was I? What was I even mentioning? Okay, hold up. I was talking about how the units, balance. They're moving towards a more balanced approach. They realized that whatever we did last year was just not good. It was a mistake. So even like future Gohan and Trunks, I mentioned them in my videos multiple times when on their release. They are a pretty solid unit. They're nothing special. But that complaint is if you compare them to previous units, right? If you compare it for the health of the game, they got a big thumbs up from me, because I was like, they have a safety thing, revival, right? But they don't have another BS defensive things in them, because they are an offense unit. So you can just kill them very easily, pop their revive, and even after revive, you can kill them very easily. But they do good damage, they can combo. So, and that's the role of the offense unit, right? To do damage and do combos, not defend. And they cannot defend. So I was like, good, that's a step in the right direction. Then they talked about Zamasu, like Zamasu's kit came out. I was a bit worried, because it felt like it's an offense unit, also has like a really good defensive gauge, which Goku Black should have had, but it is what it is, right? Like a really good defensive gauge. So I was like, okay, this is not looking good. But then he released, using him, his defensive gauge is good, but he can't tank. So you can't just he's at least at lower stars. Again, I don't know at high stars. I don't know. But at lower stars, his defensive powers are not that good. He can die very easily. But then he has a defensive gauge, which doesn't fully make him a defense unit, right? He has a defensive gauge. You can survive a couple of times with that. You have use of it, right? It changes your green cards as well, you know, their effects. So it is more different than, you know, making an offense unit just a defensive beast. I don't know. Was it Vegeta or was it Turles? One of them is a defense type. Let me check. I always forget that which one of them is defense type. I'm assuming Turles is a defense type and maybe MV is as well. Let me check. Oh, so MV is a melee type, right? MV is a melee type, but he has the counter gauge. He has the endurance. He has buff. He basically, he does not die. But he's an offense unit. And then he does insane damage. He locks you and he does everything. So why does he have defense and offense both, right? That's an issue. So where like Zamasu has a defense and offense thing both, but it isn't like that broken. Like it's very balanced. Okay, it's very balanced. If you compare them to unit like Gohan and Trunks, Zamasu is a good release. They are on a similar level. And for the first few months, we're gonna have to suffer with units feeling underpowered. You know, Goresh brought up a point that, okay, let's say they release units like Zamasu the whole year. What changes? Beast Gohan will be the best character forever? See, for that, again, I'm not gonna get upset. I have one word, and that's one character, that's Tree of Might Goku. He dropped, right? He wasn't better than Ultimate Gohan. He wasn't better than G4, right? He wasn't better than those units. But what happened when he dropped? He locked up G4. I know MV came in and it just fully solidified G4's end. But Goku put a fucking leash on G4 without being that broken. Of course, Goku was like a lot better as a unit than Zamasu, right? But at that point, you needed a unit like that to, you know, kind of counteract what G4 was doing, right? G4 wanted to lock you in. Goku said, nah. You want to lock me in? Your key is gone. Your main is gone. Your rush is gone. Your cost is up. Get wrecked, basically. You can't do anything. You lock me in, right? So your counter gauge pops. You lock me in. You do nothing. You use your green card to lock me in. You do nothing. You get cooked. And I'm a yellow. You are a purple. And then I cancel buff effects even if I'm not on the field. So if you ult my other character, your buff effects are getting cancelled. Get wrecked there as well. And then Goku had Health Restore down on his cards. So basically, you just insta use like 3-4 cards. You know, his 50% disrupt where he heals all of a sudden, right? He heals 0. You see how they just put him in check. You can release units like that without them being really broken and keep Beast Gohan in check to where it will slowly fade out. And yes, there will be people running Beast Gohan, you know, but he won't be a threat like he used to be. Like, game would have moved on by then. Because remember, right now he has featured boost, and we know losing featured boost does affect a lot. And the newer units will have featured boost. So, you know, it will slowly fade out. He will slowly be faded out of the game without releasing that many broken units. And also, they will release broken units. I'm not telling you like this is what they will keep on doing. Every unit will be like Zamasu, because that's not gonna happen. They will release broken units, but I'm giving them faith that the units that really, like the broken units they release, will not be something like Vegeta Blue or MV. Like, it won't be like G4. Like, it won't be those type of broken units. It will be like on a lesser scale. Still broken compared to the meta that we are creating, but not completely out and out. Like, I'll hold your hand and I'll take you to the finish line fully. Like, I'm assuming they won't do that. Okay, all of this is based on me assuming what the devs will do, right? So for me, I'm just seeing this as a step in the right direction where they're slowly, you know, gonna just release, not slowly, like it just happened instantly. Like, we go to Future Gohan and Trunks and then Zamasu. Like, they're gonna release these units that are not just straight up the best unit in the game. Maybe some of you will just call them out and out shit, which they are not. Zamasu is not shit. Trust me, he's not shit. He's a pretty good unit. The long range blue card, people underestimate it so much. It's such a good thing to have. A lot of characters just have close range blue cards. Long range blue cards, you can just snipe characters, especially him being red and beast being yellow. You can just use those blue cards and snipe them, which is very useful. His defensive gauge, as I said, at higher, he's a unit similar to Super Baby 2, where at higher stars, he will just scale better. He will just feel better because he will be more defensively solid. You know, not a defensive like menace, defensively more solid, and then his offense will carry him even more. Right? So Zamasu is not a shit unit by any means. He is a pretty good, decent unit, which is what we need, which is what I want to say for every unit. Good, decent unit compared to you know what we had previously. You know, once the meta is set up like this, then we'll have good units and bad units, right? Then there will be units that are like, and also I'm not saying Zamasu is perfect. He could have been better without being broken. I am not disagreeing with that. He could have been better without being broken, but I'll talk about what Zamasu should have had more to make him a lot better and not still be broken in my weekly review. That's not for here. The point here is the why Zamasu's release, Future Gohan and Trunks release is just better for the game. People will come and tell you, oh, Future Gohan and Trunks are like miles better than Zamasu. They're not. As I said, I brought up in my weekly review. People said, there was a poll on Dugo's channel, like I think 10,000 people voted at the time I saw it, right? I think it was 65 to 70% people said that Future Gohan and Trunks are better than Torless. Delusion, pure delusion. They're not. They do not even compare to Torless. Torless is in another league compared to them. Okay? So I think Future Gohan and Trunks are on a similar level to Zamasu. They may be better. As I said, I don't have Zamasu at higher stars. I don't even have Future Gohan and Trunks at higher stars. I have both of the units at like 5-6 stars range. I don't know yet which is better, which one I feel is better. I don't know yet. Okay, because it's been just like 4 or 5 days and I've just reached like BR60 plus, I think yesterday or a day before that. So I haven't had much time with Zamasu in higher ranks to fully judge him compared to Future Gohan and Trunks. But you can get a rough idea of how a character is even, you know, below BR60. Yeah. Zamasu is not shit. So Goresh just complaining about him, saying he's just not a good release, but he is. And as I said, Goresh mentioned that if you keep on releasing units like Zamasu, the game will just, Beast Gohan will just keep on being the best unit, but that's not how it works. As I said, Triku is a perfect example of a unit that comes in, it's not that broken, and just fixes the game a little bit. You know, fixes the G4 problem, not the game. The G4 problem. Comes and fixes it. You can release a unit like that for Beast Gohan as well. And you can, you know, you can put him in check and then he will slowly fade out with Boost Gohan and everything. Again, Beast Gohan will still be a really, really good unit. But you can slowly phase him out of the game and people will just start caring more for the new units, you know. And I don't know what's his obsession with Synchro Gauge. He just wants every unit to have Synchro Gauge. I have noticed that since like the start of Fest. He just literally wants every unit to have Synchro Gauge. I don't get it. Why does every unit need to have Synchro Gauge? I do not understand. There are other ways of making characters. So, you know, if every character is going to have Synchro Gauge, what makes Synchro Gauge special then? It's just going to be every character. Oh, here you go, another Synchro Gauge character. Haha, it's just like tag units nowadays. Like, oh, another tag unit. Okay. At first it was special. Now it's like, oh, another tag unit. We don't want Synchro Gauge to just do that really quick. Slowly, we'll have units. You know? So, yeah, that's I think all I want to talk about. Maybe something else. He kept on complaining that why does my unit not do everything for me? At one point he said, why would I jump through all the hoops to get Zamasu's cover null? You know where you have to fill up the gauge to get cover null if you don't have it already offense like defense type. So you can't switch to offense and get cover null. You have to fill it up if it's already offense type. Why would I jump through the hoops to get his cover null when another unit gives it for me? That is a problem. That is literally the problem why we are here, because other units just kept on giving things for free without even having you put any effort. That was the problem. And now they're fixing that. They're having units that you need to do things with to, you know, compete in the game. You know, like in his defense, the broken things like Gotenks' card, like Cortex is like complete immunity to debuffs and everything. He complained about that. Even in that video, he said this should not exist. In his defense, right? So he does complain about broken stuff, but he specifically has a problem with the unit if the unit is undertuned, and not as much with the unit that is like really broken. You know, if a unit is broken, it's like whatever, he'll mention it here and there and just move on. A unit is a bit undertuned and he just brings out a pitchforks and it's like, how dare they? How dare them not make a unit broken or this and that? And that's an issue. That's why we are here. We don't need characters to be broken. That's why we are here in this whole mess of the game, where every character did everything for free, right? He also mentioned that Gohan and Trunks do not out and out get debuff, immunity, but they can remove debuffs on green card. So see, that's their way of making you work for it. You just don't get it for free. You enter and you get everything for free. Then what's the point? The unit just holds your hand and carries you. Like Beast Gohan, he has card destruction immunity. He comes in and just, you can't stop him. Wow, nice. What an amazing unit. What a fun unit. He wants more of that somehow. Not the exact thing where he said immunity is bad. But in his point, he wants units to be like good, really good. He's like, Zamasu, why is Zamasu not as good as SSJ3, Vegeta Blue, all of these units? Why is he not as good? Yeah, maybe because those units were not good for the game. Maybe because devs are trying to move in a healthier direction for the game. How can you not see that? Like, how can you not see that as a positive? I just can't believe, man. But yeah, anyways, as I said, Zamasu is not that bad. The game seems to be going in a good direction, so I am optimistic. And also in the video in the background, you just saw, I'm not playing the matches, they're like pre-recorded. You can see Zamasu doing this with God Goku and SSJ3 and everybody. What he's doing, right? You can see his usage, and I've already made like a couple of 3 videos on Zamasu as well. If you want to watch it, I'll do the weekly review where I'll talk about where Zamasu could have been better, but without making him a hand holding carry unit. I'll talk about that in the weekly review, not here. And one final point before I go, I've said this a couple of times on my channel already. Please think for yourself. Okay? Seek different opinions. Just don't listen to what Goresh and Ryuden say, like these big creators say, and just be like, okay, so everybody has a similar opinion. That must be true then. Or if one bigger creator says something, oh, Goresh said this must be true. Okay, I say Goresh and Ryuden in the same sentence because they are essentially a couple at this point. The way they act, like they agree on everything. They say the same things. Like they might as well be same person at this point. So when I say Goresh and Ryuden, I mean don't listen to them all the time. Like listen to their opinion, what they say. Listen to that, and then make up your own mind from your own experience. Seek other people's opinion, what they are saying. Try to think for yourself. Which one seems more realistic, and then make up your mind. Don't just follow the creators. Just whatever they say. Oh, he said that must be true. That's not how it works. Don't say everything I say. Think for it. Think about it. Listen to what I say. Think about it and see if you agree or disagree. Like, make up your own mind. Don't just follow them. Okay. Also, if somebody says anything other than let's say for example, a big creator says like some opinion, right? And then somebody disagrees. Don't immediately just write off that somebody that disagrees. Try to think why they might say that. If they give more explanation, try to understand the explanation. If they don't and you're curious, ask them, why do you feel this way? Maybe your mind will change upon hearing the explanation and you'll see, maybe this guy's right. So please think for yourselves. But anyways, Zamasu, good for the game. Future Gohan and Trunks, good for the game. They are decent units. I hope we continue with this trend where there are not any broken units. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.